Okay, so to repair a drip line is pretty easy. I'll show you a few tools that you need and some of the parts, and you can fix it yourself. So here's some sample pieces of drip line. You can see on the side it will say what size it is. That says 1/2 inch. Centennial Drip, that's just a brand. You'll also see 3/4 inch. If you don't see this and you just see black, you can tell that it's drip line because it's softer than the pipe that gets buried in the ground. We've got emitters, and these are what plug into the drip line here and allow the water to leave and it regulated. Here's a spaghetti tube. This is just a smaller tube that takes it from the drip line to the plant or whatever you want it to water. Here we've got some couplers. These are barbed, so you can see that they have one-way barbs on them. These, if you put them into drip line, it's best to put a clamp on them. There's a couple different types of clamps. There's these, which the brand is Oetiker. These are pretty common. They're inexpensive, but you will need a pair of pliers for these. These are worm drive clamps, so you just need a flathead screwdriver for that to tighten it up. This is much larger than you need, but these clamps work okay. Then there's these type of couplers. These are compression fittings. So there's no clamps required for these because they're barbed on the inside. So these are just using your hands and putting the tubes inside under pressure, and it keeps it in place. You can get these in 1/2 inch or 3/4, or there's this one that you can get that will do either size. And you can get different fittings, like this is a T, this is a compression fitting for a 3/4 inch line. And then these are for the end of the drip line. So at the very end, when you want to stop the pipe, there's a couple ways you can do it. One way is fold it over and use this. So you slide it on one side and then bend this over back into this, like that. Slide that in there. And that'll actually keep it pinched shut. Another option is a barbed plug. So this is a 3/4 inch. So this just fits in the end of the pipe and you can put those clamps on it. Or there's this blowout cap, which on this one side is the compression fitting. So this shoves onto the end of the pipe. And then on this side, you have a cap that unscrews so you can drain it quickly in the wintertime, or you can blow it out with air in the winter. So I'll show you how to use these. Let's say you have a cut piece of pipe, or you have a hole in one of these that needs repaired, like this. Let's say you have a hole here, like such. You see the hole, water's spraying out of it, and you don't know how to fix it. So one thing, if it's small enough and perhaps an emitter had popped out of there, which is really common, if the hole's small enough, you can just punch this back in and it will fix that hole. So you hear that pop, that means it's locked in there. These are barbed so they don't go anywhere, and that'll fix that. However, you will have water coming out of this. But let's say it's too big for a drip, so then you can cut this. You can either use a utility knife, you can use a pair of pipe cutters, which are great. And with drip tubing, you can even use a heavy-duty pair of scissors. So I'll show you how you can do that. It's pretty simple. Cut it right where the hole is. Scissors work just fine. Or I'll show you how to cut it with these pipe cutters. So this just goes in there. That's easy too. Or a pair of utility knife, or not a pair of utility knife, just a simple single utility knife. So don't cut into your fingers, don't cut like that, that's stupid. Get the point in there, turn it around, make sure it's sharp. Always try and cut away from you, just like that. So now you've got your pipe that's separate like that, and you want to use one of these barbed fittings. So this just inserts into each side of the pipe. Because drip is low pressure, it doesn't have to be all the way up like you would if it was buried in the ground with high pressure. So you have at least enough room there to put some clamps on it. So these Oetiker clamps slide on like that. And with a pair of pliers, you pinch them, and I'll show you. So now that we've got the insert in there most of the way, you can slide these Oetiker clamps on, just like that. Drip lines, you can do just one clamp on each side. I always like to do two because it's always safe. So these are actual Oetiker pliers. You can tell they're thin here. They're designed for pinching these shut. I've used tile nippers before. They're not quite as good, but you can use them. So you can see here, these go on the flat part, and when you squeeze it, pinches it shut. Pinch it down all the way. So you do that to both sides, and then this is fixed here. Just like that. Now this one's right on the edge. I don't know if I trust that. This one's fine. So this one would be easy to add another clamp on there, clamp it down. I don't like to line those up because it can get pinched and create a leak. So I like to alternate them at least a quarter of the way around, so then they don't line up and you don't risk any leaking between the pipe getting pinched. You also can use these worm drive clamps. They would work the same way. You put them on and then just tighten them down as tight as you can go. They work in a pinch, but they're not as reliable as these kind of clamps here. You can use these compression fittings and they work really well. They're not as secure as the Oetiker clamps and the barbed fittings, but they do work. So this will fit right inside. Now you have to be careful to make sure that all sides go in nice and even, and then as you push that in, you can see it getting deeper in there, and it will stop when it gets to a certain point, and you can see inside there the other side of the pipe. So then the other side, make sure you get in there, line it up. It takes a little bit of pressure, and then push that right in there, just like that, and that will fix your pipe. The same thing with these, any kind of fitting, compression fitting on both sides, and then you would add a third pipe here if you needed a T. Now if you wanted to do a drip cap with a compression fitting, same thing. Just make sure it gets put on there nice and even. Now what can happen sometimes if you're putting too much pressure, you can bend the pipe like that. It's really easy to do that. So be very careful not to do that. On drip line, it's not as critical. If it gets pinched, just open it back up again so it can have that nice flow of water. Underground sprinklers, if I kink a pipe, I'll just patch it because it's not worth bearing a risk. Get that on there all the way, and then that's the blowout cap. That's the end, and you can see when you take this off, the pipe is right there. Okay, so now to add an emitter. There's different types of emitters. There's different, you'll see different colors. This one happens to be a red 2 gallon per hour, but the same thing applies for all of them. So you can tell that one side is flat barbed and the other side has a point and it's a little sharper. So this is the side that will go into the pipe here. There's tools they make for this that will fit in here and you can punch it right into the pipe. It's super easy. A trick that I've learned, you don't need any tools for it, is there's a flatter part right here on the emitter. Put it just there on the side of your hand. Line it up kind of where you want it. And then you can use your hands to punch it in. So you get it started there and use your other hand to punch that in. It takes some force sometimes, but it's not too bad. There. You heard a little click, that means it's popped in there. Can't get that out, and you can see inside there where that tap, that point is in there. So now that's in there. That's the emitter line, or emitter. This is the spaghetti line. So if you wanted to run this spaghetti out to where your plant is, this is also barbed. Just insert that in there. Get it down all the way to the bottom, tighten there. And then you have this going out to your plant and the water will come out here. If you found that tip to be helpful, hit the subscribe button down below for more free practical sprinkler advice every week.